my dear students of class 4. Welcome you to another interesting session of your online classes. Children, let's take a quick recap of our previous classes. In our previous classes, we learned about food, our basic need, digestion and the role of microbes, clothes we wear. In this lesson, we are going to learn something about solids, liquids and gases. So the lesson is solid, liquids and gases. This is our fourth lesson. In this lesson, we will learn about states of matter, changes of states, solute, solvent and solution, separation of substances. Let us see what we have in this lesson. What is a matter, children? Any substance that has mass and occupies space is called a matter. What is a matter? Any substance that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Solid, liquid and gases are the three states of matter. So, here these solid, liquids and gases are the three states of matter. So, let us see. Solid form, that is ice. When you freeze the ice, it forms into cubes. That is the solid form of water. Right, children? What is the liquid form? Water. Water is the liquid form, right? Juices, milk is the liquid form of a water. Steam, gaseous form of the vapor. This vapor you can see, that is the, when you boil or when you heat, you see the steam coming up, right? That is the gaseous form. So this is the three states of matter. Lemonade, this is the liquid. Lemon, which is the solid. Yes? Take the shape of the container in which it is poured, right? When you pour this liquid into a bowl, the liquid takes the shape of the bowl. When the water is poured into the glass, it takes the shape of the glass. And when you pour water into the jar, it takes the shape of a jar, right? So, liquid form the shape of the containers, right? So, no shape of its own it has. What is the solids? So, solid have a definite shape, stays as it is, right? So, you can see the lemon kept in a bowl, it doesn't change its shape, right? The lemon kept in the glass, again it doesn't change the shape, it stays as it is. So, here you can see in a jar also, it doesn't change its shape. And it cannot be poured. So, the solid cannot be poured. Does not change its shape according to the shape of the container. But whereas in liquid, it should change the shape. Anything that has a fixed shape, size and cannot flow is called as solid. What is solid, children? Anything that has a fixed shape, size and cannot flow is called a solid. Anything does not have a fixed shape, can be poured easily and can flow is a liquid. What is liquid? Anything that does not have a fixed shape, can be poured easily and can flow is a liquid. So you can see here in this picture, when you on the gas, the fire comes out, right? That is the gaseous form. You can see when you're on the stove, there's only the gas coming out, right? It is not the fire. It's only the, you can hear the sound, but you cannot see the gas coming out, right? So that is the gaseous form. Gas. Air is the mixture of many gases. Gas will flow in every direction. Upwards, sidewards, downwards, in all the directions. Incense sticks. Gas smelt. You can see the smoke coming out. You can smell it, but you cannot see. Gas spreads. Yes. When something is burned, you can smell, right? But you cannot see. Gas has no shapes. Can you see the air? No, we cannot. It takes the shape of the container it is filled in. Suppose you fill the air in a balloon, it takes the shape of a balloon. Suppose you fill the air in the tube. It takes the shape of a tube, right? Matter changes from one state to another. Let us see how it is. Ice melts on heating and turns into water. So this is one form of changing. Water when heated form water vapor. Yes, you can see the vapor coming out of the water when you heat it. When you close the lid, it forms the droplets. Right. When you heat the water, close the lid on it, okay, the steam comes up and the vapor forms. And then when you cool down and open the container, the lid, you can see the droplets on the lid. So water vapor, on further cooling, it turns into ice. Now, when you pour the water into the ice cubes container and freeze it, it turns again into the solid shape. You can see the candle burning, right? It is melting, right? You can see, right? This candle is made up of wax. We all know that it is made up of wax. Wax is a solid in its natural state. A candle just kept outside will not melt unless it is lightened up. In the freezer, it is in the same form. It is in the solid shape, right? When you take it up from the freezer and you just leave it for some time, it turns into the liquid, right? So it forms, it takes another form. Ice cream is made up of milk, right? It is a liquid form of state. Milk is a liquid in its natural state. Frozen milk is nothing but it's a solid. See, when it is melted, it again come back to the form of milk, right? In a liquid form. Ice cream will never evaporate because it is not heated. Matter normally does not change its states on its own unless some external pressure or force is applied or its temperature is changed. So you can see how this candle is melting. When we burn the candle, when we light the candle, it start burning, right? And it is heating, so it is melting. When the ice cream is kept in the freezer, what happens? it is formed in the solid shape, right? When you take it out, take it down from the freezer and kept for some time, it starts melting, right children? So you can see the difference of melting form, that is, one is from heating and one is due to the temperature. So here is an activity. You can state the activity into what is solid, liquid and gases. Okay, if you have understand, this is the activity. Let us see what is states of matter here. Solids. All matters or substance is made up of small particles. What is particles, children? The least possible amount of substance. Okay, it can be any substance, the least possible amount of substance. For example, tiny particles of dust. Okay, all matters or substance is made up of small particles. These particles are arranged in different ways in solids, liquids and gases. Okay, these are the three states of matter. Let us see what is solid here. Solids are substances in which the particles are packed very close to each other. You can see in the picture, the solids are packed in this picture very closely. It is tightly packed. Solids are usually hard and have a fixed shape. It has a fixed shape. For an example, pencil, book, chair and marbles are example of solids. If we apply force, some solids can change their shape. For example, dough can be rolled out into chapatis and interesting shapes can be made out of clay. Some solids on applying force can be bent or broken. Let us see what is liquid here. Liquids are substances in which the particles are not very closely packed, unlike solids. So in solids, the particles are very tightly packed, very closely packed. But whereas in liquids, it is not closely packed. They have no fixed shape and can flow. They take the shape of the container. They are poured into water, milk and juices are example of liquids. If we pour some orange juice into a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. Right, children? If we pour into a bowl, it will take the shape of a bowl. Liquids can flow from one place to another and so are called fluids. Now let us see what is the gases. Gases are substances in which the particles are very loosely packed. So here in solids, they are very close to each other. Okay, so they are very tightly packed. But in liquids, it is not very closely packed. Okay, it is having some space between. But whereas in gases, it is very loosely packed. There is many space, okay, between two particles. They too have no fixed shape unlike liquids. They occupy all the available space in a container. Air and cooking gas are example of gases. Air is actually a mixture of gases such as oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide. So many gases forms air. Fluids include both liquids and gases. So fluids are both the liquids and the gases. So for an example, when air filled in a ball, it takes the shape of a ball. When air filled in a tube, it takes the shape of a tube. So children, hope you have understood with this solid, liquids and gases, right? Now let us see what are changes of states. So how it changes from one state to another. Matter can change its form from one state to another. The process by which a solid changes into a liquid is called melting. We saw the ice, how it was melting, children. So, when you take out an ice cube from the freezer and leave it at room temperature, you will see that the ice starts to melt into water. So here, when the ice cube is taken out from the freezer and kept it in the room temperature, it starts melting and takes another form. When this water is heated further, water starts to change into vapor, that is steam. The process by which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling is called condensation. So, what is condensation? The process by which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling is called condensation. When you hold a cold steel plate over a pot of boiling water, you will feel or see tiny drops of water condensing on the tray. The process by which a liquid changes into a solid on cooling is called solidification. What is solidification? The process by which a liquid changes into a solid on cooling is called solidification. Freezing of water into ice is a form of solidification. If you fill water in an ice tray and keep it in the freezer, you will see that after some time the water turns into ice. So, this is how the states changes its forms, okay, from solid to liquid and liquid to gases, okay. So now children, hope you have understood the difference between solid, liquid and gases, how it turns from one form to another. So here I have given a small activity. If you have understood this differences of the states, you will write it and give me the feedback. Okay, you will post this in the WhatsApp group. Okay, children. So this is it for this session. We'll catch up you with the next session. Okay, until do take care of yourself and your parents. Bye bye for now, children.